Apple juice for two. Apple juice for two.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Apple Juice for Two podcast. This is another exclusive interview. We are here with Kayshawn, a local Charleston musical artist and producer, and obviously we have Little Zay.
It's always Little Zay. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely,
And the presence of the Apple Juice for Two.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Brevin isn't here for this one. This time, his attendance has been marked. And his parents have been contacted as well.
Yeah, he's gonna get written up for that.
Yeah.
You can't have it. Can't keep having it. We're gonna have to write him up, but it's okay. We'll let it. We'll let it slide for this time.
We'll talk to him about it after the episode. It's okay. Kayshawn, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely,
I'm so excited.
it's a pleasure. We saw you. I think it was this past Sunday at the Cistern Garden little festival thing, and that was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome seeing you there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. What was the name of the dude that you performed with? Who did that? You did a song with him, and he came up and sang with you for one.
Tyler Clapper. He goes by TT Clap on music. With what he's releasing now.
That's awesome.
He's amazing. He's so cool.
So you said that you guys had started writing music together and stuff.
Yes, actually, it was Tyler, I, and Noah Taylor. We kind of started when they were 15, 16, and I was 18. I just moved to Charleston, and I was in college and everything, and so we made my first EP. I'm from Myrtle Beach, basically.
Nice.
A small town called Loris, but I went to high school in Myrtle Beach, and that's kind of like anytime I wanted to eat or do anything, I was Myrtle Beach.
Which is sad because Myrtle Beach is a very just decrepit and just miserable.
I understand what that's kind of like. I used to live in Maryland around Ocean City, which is it's an exact carbon copy of Myrtle Beach. Same type of like tourist trap beach pit. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Well, that's crazy.
I'm in Charleston now.
Yeah, exactly. So
you go there.
So you just did you always want to go to college at Charleston, or like when did you know you wanted to go to CFC?
Honestly, it was a last minute decision. Senior year of high school, I just kind of had this urge to go out and tour the campus, and then I came and I loved the campus and I loved the people, and everyone was so accepting, and it was exciting. And I did like the it was kind of like an orientation, but they had like the block party and everything, and I was like, I'm coming. Yeah. I'm definitely coming here. So
I remember doing the orientation with my older brother when he was looking at colleges like years ago, and I was like still in 7th or 8th grade and shit, and I was like, damn, this place seems sick.
Yeah.
But so that's crazy. So did you guys write music under any specific name, or like what kind of songs did you guys write at that point? Are they released and stuff?
Yes, everything that I had written with them basically is out. We did my first EP called Wide Eyes, so that has like 5 songs on it, and then with them as well, kind of like as we were ending the EP and trying to go into the next project, we started working on a song that is now called Save Your Love. But we didn't even like finish it at first. It was kind of like a verse, pre-chorus, and then we had a chorus that was just kind of like this down chorus thing that didn't work. But over time, I was just kind of like, there's something there. We got to get back in the studio. Right. So I texted them, and I was back home in Myrtle, and so I had to come drive back up for the summer, like July or so.
Yeah.
And we finished it, and now it's like my biggest single.
I was gonna say, that's awesome. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah,
it's always the ones that like came like fly like that. You know what I mean?
You never know.
You never know. What's your favorite song that you've written so far? Do you think?
My favorite one that I've written, I think maybe Eve or Shades of You.
Nice.
The two that I've
those
released.
More recent ones.
More recent, yeah.
Nice.
More recently.
Those have more like guitar in them and stuff like that. Is that like are you trying to go for that kind of sound more these days, or?
Yeah, I think. Well, I've only released 2 songs last year. And so kind of it's a little bit of a representation of where I'm going, but also kind of like there's so much more to come banger wise. I've just been in the studio, and we've been making like these upbeat bangers, like sick drum beats and everything. And so I'm so excited for people just to hear it. But
so who are you in the studio with, you said?
Ian Gwinnett, he's my producer now.
Nice.
So we've been working on an EP for me, and then just trying to just work and figure out exactly what I want my sound to sound like, a year from now, 2 years from now, as we put more projects out.
What's that creative relationship like between you two? Like, what's your guys' process together?
He is just so cool. When I first met Ian and I went into the studio, he was just like, let me just play you a few things, and then let's just see what sticks.
Okay.
So, and I was like, okay, of course. And then the first thing he played me, we made a song, and it like was a full version within like 3 hours.
That's awesome.
And then, and so from there on out, we kind of work better where he'll sit at the computer and he'll play something with the piano. He'll add like some samples, things like that. And then I'll just be sitting on the couch like writing these lyrics, and then all of a sudden we'll have a full song. And he's just so gracious just to let me write as well. I'm so honored that sometimes, the music industry can be crazy. So for someone to just like let you write your own music, it's just
That's true, yeah.
like amazing.
Kind of just like trust you like that.
Right. That's amazing.
When did you guys start writing music together?
Actually, around this time last year, I think it was around March or so, I went in and we made a song called Anybody Else. That's like unreleased, but I've already sang it once at like a house show this year. That was the first song we ever made. And then from there we made Eve, Shades of You, and then we got some more coming.
Nice. That's exciting. Yeah, so you finished up some songs that are in the works, being baked to come out now and stuff?
Yes.
Nice.
So Eve and Shades of You are a part of a bigger project. It's called For You. It's going to be called the For You EP of about maybe 5 to 6 songs or so. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I'm very picky and I'm a perfectionist, so it's taking its time. But I'm excited. I go in on Sunday, so it's going to be exciting.
Can't
just
rush
to get
art.
back in there. Yeah, you can't rush art.
So there's no release date yet?
No release date yet. I'm hoping for summer.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that because I don't want anyone to be upset with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No one holding to that. Who are some of your inspirations or like musical influence, would you say?
Honestly, Taylor Swift is my biggest one.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
I started making music because of Taylor Swift. I wrote songs I wanted to sing all because of 1989. That album was so influential in terms of just kind of helping me to feel like I could do it.
Okay.
And so I kind of got the opportunity. I was 15 years old and I was on Instagram and I got in touch with a producer named Book. And Book actually was producing music for Bridget Mendler at the time.
Wow.
She played Teddy on Good Luck Charlie.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, and I sat there.
Brevin met her one time when she
you're
came around here to do like signatures and stuff.
I remember that.
He has a signed photo of her in there. Yeah.
No way. Oh my god.
He had a huge crush on her too.
Oh my gosh, Brevin, that's amazing. But yeah, so he honestly was just so sweet to me. Like I'm 15 years old writing songs, and he actually was going to play her one that he thought was the best. So I was just kind of cranking out songs, hoping that one day Bridget would hear one and take it. And nothing ever happened. She stopped making an EP, but it was just kind of, that was the initial thing that was like, okay, maybe I have it in me to do this. And so from there, I just kept writing, and then I started to make my own music.
So you've always like had a knack for like writing? Have you always like enjoyed writing poetry or like lyrics like that and stuff? And
all
just,
throughout high school and things. I love poetry, but it wasn't even until I was around like 14, 15 that I started writing songs or just attempting. And then it just kind of happened naturally where I fell in love with it, and life happens and you have these little relationships or whatever you want to call it. And it was my one way to kind of express how I was feeling.
Yeah. Talk about more, or tell us a little bit more about how you feel about Charleston as like a city for creative people and like artists and stuff to like, foster that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. I mean, honestly, it's so cool in the sense that every single song that I've ever made and that's out has been made in Charleston.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. And I mean, this place is just so cool. It has so many cool artists. And
so you can 100% say that is certified Charleston sound.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
100%. And I don't know, Charleston is just so inspiring to me, and I will go on walks. I'll put my headphones in, and even at night sometimes have these like nighttime walks, and it just inspires me to create the music. And then recently for this EP, I got inspired by Fort Moultrie. So I was kind of driving out to Sullivan's
that place is
Island.
really
Oh
pretty.
my God, that's
Sullivan's
there's a lot of
Island.
history behind that.
Yeah,
Trust me.
so
I know.
much. So much.
I can tell you a lot.
There are a
of
lot
that
of ghosts
history.
there. A lot of, but
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I could tell you the whole story about that.
I mean, this is
my
a
dad's
cursed
historian.
place.
Okay.
Obviously, all Charleston, but I mean, during golden hour, especially driving around that place.
God.
Yes,
amazing.
and just walking on the beach with your girl or your friends, and
I got you.
Sir.
that was just kind of what inspired me
dude.
to make what I made now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Charleston's just amazing in that way.
As an artist, how do you stay inspired? Because it's
Oh, that's a good
at least
question.
for me, it's hard to stay inspired during these days. Like,
Oh yeah,
sometimes life can just be like so much shit is being pounded into your skull, and it's like almost hard to have room in your brain for anything.
yeah. Honestly, I think my friends, my girlfriend Eve, she's just the sweetest thing in the world. She's my baby. and she inspires me every day. I think every day that we wake up and I get look at her and I'm like, I can't believe I get to like live out life with you. It feels like a dream. Not to be like that like cheesy person, but it's legit so surreal.
No, yeah, like romance
I
and
felt love before.
will inspire.
Yeah, I felt love before.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just so surreal. Like I found a person that I really, really love,
Respect.
and it's like, whoa, like you still like me, like a year later, like I'm still interesting enough for you to want to like be around me. Oh my gosh. So she keeps me inspired, and then as well, I'll take breaks from writing like months on end sometimes. I think my
I was gonna say, like, do you ever fall into ruts or like writer's block, or you take intentional breaks?
All the time, whether it be intentional or like unintentional, I'll take breaks. I mean, sometimes I just can't think of one thing to write, or I don't have one single melody, and it's just not working. Yeah, and then that's just kind of when I'm like, okay, like you just need to get inspired. You need to just kind of take time to live your life and be 23.
That too, yeah, exactly. For me, sometimes it's like listening to new music that I've never listened to before helps.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love that. Listening to new artists. I think recently I love Isaac Dunbar. He's so amazing. He has a song called "Make
Never
a
heard
Drawer."
of him. What kind of music does he make?
It's pop, but it's so, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so like the confidence in it and the level of it's just like the beats and everything is just so upbeat and like grandiose to me, and it makes me feel good. I'm like, okay, this is kind of where I'm headed, in terms of when I play a show, I kind of want it to sound like what he's creating, and where you can just kind of get up and dance, and anyone can get up and dance.
Yeah. Do you enjoy being on stage more or being in the studio more?
That's a good question. Honestly, I would say it's kind of like 50-50, but I feel like recently it's been more on stage.
Interesting.
I used to have really, really bad stage fright. I couldn't get up and sing. 18
I
years
definitely
old.
get that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, I
just
get that.
I mean, just starting my music and then saying, okay, like you're in the studio being intimate and you're making these songs and you love the way it sounds, and now let's go out and like sing it for people who don't even know who you are and probably maybe don't care. It was just so I was so nervous.
It's kind of thrilling too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It can be both positive and negative. And you try to look at the
like,
positive.
oh, it's nervous, but then like you pull it off, you're like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Sunday was definitely like one of those things where I got up to do sound check and then all the nerves just left.
That's good.
And I was just like, oh my God,
You seem
I'm
very
having so
natural
much fun.
with the Sunday. You either like, I remember you were especially even engaging with the crowd, which not a lot of people do. Some people are just like, hey, I'm gonna sing, blah 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 blah. But you're just like, no, I want y'all to stand up, I want you to clap. I think that's
true,
a really good part
Oh,
of being an
thank
artist,
you.
just engaging with your with the audience. But no, that was great. That was
absolutely.
definitely. I enjoyed your performance a lot. That was good.
Thank you
thought-
so much.
yeah.
I saw you guys. You guys are like legit to the left of me. I never know if I'm like supposed to make eye contact with people.
We were trying to get some good angles for photos.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
We're just shy guys.
And sometimes I'm like making eye contact with people, and I'm just like
I know.
in my
It's a
head, I'm
symptom
not
of
even
a-
really there. I'm like, what am I gonna eat tonight? Like,
Those waffles smell good.
yeah. Oh my gosh, good waffles that day.
So back to the whole Charleston scene.
Yeah.
I know I mentioned to it earlier. How did you find out about Macy Crawford? As you know, we've had her on in the stew before.
In the
You know,
stew.
Isaiah's
and I
a
know
super
y'all.
fan.
I'm literally a big fan. There's
Oh, I love that.
If you can get her, there's this
we're
one
all
song.
fans.
There's this one song I wanted to learn.
Okay.
That I wanted to sing by Anita Baker called "You Bring Me Joy." I don't know how if I have to
Yeah,
personally
you have to
like,
learn that on bass,
I already learned sort of kind of it.
and then
you know,
be like, cover it.
yeah, I just recently just fell in love with Nina Baker. But aside from that, how did you meet with her and how did y'all collab? Because I know y'all performed last Sunday. So how'd y'all get to know each other?
Honestly, I think Charleston, just the music scene in general, is kind of how we found out about each other. We were following each other for so long.
What's dope?
And we had some of the same friends, like Jalen. He has his podcast as well.
Right, yeah.
Just
we
music.
know them. Yeah,
That's
we know
how
them.
we met Macy and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
met
awesome.
Macy
Yeah.
through Jalen.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I knew him, and kind of she was on his podcast and was like, you should get Kayshawn. And I'm like, okay, that's so
Nice.
sweet. Like, thank you. And then from there, we met this year in January at a house show that we both were doing for Just Music Podcast.
Word.
And we just had like a really good time talking, and I was just like, hey, like if you ever want to like collab in any type of way, just write, create something, like let's do it. Or if we want to be like full out and like have a song together, let's do that too.
Yeah.
And
That's
like
amazing.
we've just kind of grown so close. She's like, we call each other pop girlies. So I'm always like, I'm like one of the pop girlies. But no, she's just so sweet, and she's just been so welcoming to me. And so, I mean, sometimes you can find people in the music industry who are just like not the best people, and she's like one of the best, like, and just like proest of pros. So
yeah,
shout out to
definitely.
Macy.
These days with like, back in, I guess when we were younger, we're the same age, so definitely, yeah. When we were younger, it's like bands would put out like a huge record, you know what I mean? An album, maybe with like dropping a single with a music video on MTV or something like that.
Right.
These days with the streaming and stuff, it's become like you drop like tons of singles and stuff, and people want you to like upload like 3 songs a month or some shit. That's like what some people are saying on YouTube and stuff. In your opinion, in your experience, or for you, what's the best way to like gauge your output as an artist? Like, how much do you expect from yourself or whatever in that sense?
Oh man, see, that's a tough one because I kind of have a situation where I'm not like able to always go into the studio. I'm kind of at the mercy of whoever I'm working with and their schedule, and then I'm also like living this like double life of I'm working like full time at a desk job, and then at night writing music and living.
I guess
the
I was
whole
saying
life.
more like, do you like writing full length things better than just like singles and stuff, or like?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, I took that somewhere else.
I asked it wrong.
No, you're good. You're good. I actually do enjoy now more of the full length. So I definitely think when you guys hear from me next, it'll be full project mode.
Yeah.
And so we already released 2 singles from that project. So I think what I'll do is put the project out and then kind of be like, okay, well, you have the whole project. Now here's the next single that I'm promoting as the EP is out.
Nice.
Okay.
And I really I do love a good full body of work that just kind of tells a story, and it helps you to feel like you can create this world. And I love having like the visuals and the concepts, whether that be like a music video or the animations. I reach out to certain friends who are just really good at doing
all
that.
the album art and like photos and stuff. Yeah. That the dream definitely too would be to have like a vinyl pressing with all like the stuff and a little sleeve, you know what I mean?
Oh
so
my
photos,
goodness.
your
That'd be so
lyrics.
A dream one day.
You know what I mean?
One day.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any places in South Carolina that presses vinyl. I don't know. I should look into that. That'd be interesting.
Let me know.
That'd be news to
there's a
me.
gap in
That'd
that
be-
market. I don't know. I mean,
That'd be very interesting. I would love to find that because I know we put some songs on a cassette tape. That was. I know it's not the same, but still, like that's
amazing.
It's still like
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a clip I saw of Ringo Starr on like the Jimmy Kimmel show a few years ago and shit. And Ringo like releases an album every now and then to pay the taxes and keep up with that, keep the house in Monte Carlo and stuff. But and he was like fucking shit. What was I just talking about? Oh, so yeah, he goes like
Ringo Starr.
Yeah, he goes for some reason the cassette tapes outsold everything else this year, like even the digital downloads and the vinyls and stuff.
Wow.
So it's
Whoa.
like cassette is like huge these days for some reason.
That's so cool, though. I love that.
It is fun. Cassette tapes are fun. We bought this one at like Walmart, and then you can just like burn stuff straight to tapes, blank tapes that they have, and it just like instantly makes it sound lo-fi.
Yeah.
That like warm vintageness, like it sounds shitty on purpose in a good way.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. What would you say is like one of your goals, or like what is something that if you're like just striving for in your music career?
Yeah.
What's something that you could be like, I made it after that happened?
Honestly, I think next I want to make an album, and then as well, I really want to write a song for a full-fledged artist out in the world, pop artist, big artist, Dua Lipa, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, someone
Nice.
to take one of my songs and just like put it on their album. I think that would be like one of the biggest accomplishments, because I mean from there you can win a Grammy, because now the Grammys, they give it anyone who's a part of the song or the project like a Grammy too, so you never know.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of like where I'm headed.
Yeah.
I want something like that.
Definitely. That's awesome. Well, we'll be able to say came on Apple Juice for 2.
Your first in-person interview per Apple Juice for 2 podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be amazing.
Before you're
That's
on
a nice ring
Jimmy
to it.
Fallon's and stuff.
And like
goodness.
it's Saturday Night Live, and like
Could you
he'll
imagine?
remember us.
You know,
Of course I will.
Humble
absolutely.
beginnings.
we have to well, we need to get you to do, we want to do like a tiny desk style type shit, you know what I
Oh.
mean? People sing like
Yeah.
performing
We want you to perform
songs.
live here.
Maybe
We
even
would literally love that.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe-
I'm so down. I'm so
Yeah.
down.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. We got to do that. We got to make that happen. We want to do a live show too. We're trying to do an Apple Juice for Two live thing.
Oh, let's do it.
We
Hit
want to
me
make
up.
it like a whole variety thing.
Yeah.
Comedy, music, bam, 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 bam,
Yeah,
entertainment.
I love
yeah,
that.
it'd be everything.
I'm
The
down.
whole
Hit me
shebang.
up.
Yeah, literally, we will. Trust me.
Okay.
Like it's in the works.
Okay, that's awesome.
Anything else that I missed that you want to say, or
Yeah.
the floor is yours if you have anything that.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine.
Yeah, the
If
floor is
you've
yours.
ever-
Yeah.
if you've ever-
You're our guest.
Yeah, is there any? Hey, if you don't have anything, that's cool.
I
I know it's on the spot.
don't know. I'm like, well, I mean, I don't think so. I think maybe that's everything.
Go stream Shades of You.
Yes, stream me.
Yeah.
Exactly, and then be on the radar for the new album coming out sometime this summer.
Yes, yes, a new EP.
Definitely.
And then my socials is just Kayshawn McCoy, KayShawn on everything basically.
Gotcha.
So if you want to follow me, you can. If not, that's okay. That's okay too. But yeah, but I guess that's everything.
Beautiful. Well, Kayshawn, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
so
coming.
much for being on the show, dude.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys so
it.
much.